Hello everyone, how are you doing? I'm Shreyans, a local tour guide from Varanasi, India. So most of you already know what a guide is. It means that when you come to India, in this case Varanasi, I'll be the one showing you around the places to see, which food you try, which food you shouldn't, and basically being the connection between the place you are visiting. I've been working as a local guide for 1.5 years now, and I realized that traveling and working is kind of my passion. So since then I've been doing this, and I love it, and I really miss it right now, because as you know we are going through some difficult times where we cannot travel, but that doesn't mean we cannot dream about the places to see or add places to our bucket list. For me, a virtual tour is a great tool, because normally it would take a long time to visit different places in the city. But if we are doing it virtually, we can jump from one place to another without worrying about time. So now, taking directly you to our today's virtual tour, I am taking you to one of the most famous and selling tours of Varanasi, that is Pan Tour, in which I'm gonna show you what is world famous Banarsi Pan and types of pan, selling and purchasing, tradings, traditional houseworks and its classification, etc. First of all, let me tell you about this religious capital of India, Varanasi. Varanasi, which is traditionally known as Banaras, it is a popular holy city of the nation located in the central region of the Ganges Valley in North India. This city is not just the oldest in India, but happens to be the oldest colonized city universally. Banaras has religious as well as literal significance. This city is known for world-renowned universities like Banaras Hindu University, which is founded by Madan Mohan Malvi, Sampurnanand Sanskrit University, and the Mahatma Gandhi Kashi Vidyapeeth. Therefore, this city is generally referred to as the city of temples as well as the city of learning. Banaras is famous for its saris, which is traditional women dress of India, gullies, which are the stone-made streets distributed like a spider's web in this whole city. Its majority of street foods, its famous Banarsi Pan, its temples, and of course our precious river Ganges. Now, as you have got a little glimpse of the city and also some highlights of Pan, so let's begin our tour. So this is our city Varanasi, and I will start the tour from the downtown of Varanasi, that is Gadodia, moving to Girjagar, Nai Sarak, Beniabag, Chetganj, Pandariba, and last I will end the tour into the farming grounds. In between, I will also guide you about the famous and interesting shops in the route. So let's start moving the feet. First, Gadolia. Gadolia is the oldest and most loved market for its variety of goods and its privilege to offer wholesale to retail goods. The market is nearly 3 kilometers from Varanasi Kent railway station and could be reached within 10 minutes by rickshaw. It can also refer as the central business district of Varanasi, situated not far from the entrance of the world famous Kashi Vishwanath temple. This market has been here as long as human activities and as long as anyone can remember. In the summers, walking around the marketplace can get very muggy. Gadodia has narrow streets lined on both sides by squat buildings and small shops that sell everything. Now, as we move a little forward, you can see the crowd of milkmen trading their milks. In common language, we call it milk sati. You can't drink milk here, but can see the tradings and other things related to it. After moving a little ahead, we are now standing at a very unique shop named Lucknow Chicken House. So what's unique about it? There is a bull who reaches this shop every day and sits in that shop in front of the Lord Shiva idol at a certain time, and after some time he gets up and goes away. He never harms anyone, he just sits there and observes everything. The bull appears completely absorbed in Shiva devotion. This is something beyond science. On the opposite side of this shop, we can see a big street food shop named Kashi Chaat Bhandar. This place has been a carrier of attraction since its inception. Its legacy can be determined by the huge crowd it attracts every day, be it natives of Varanasi or the tourists. Kashi Chaat Bhandar caters to one and all, with its amazing range of chaats, pani puri and snacks. Whenever I do a tour something kind of like this, I remind myself that I am not on a street food tour of Varanasi, because just by passing through this shop, it somehow attracts you with its smell. It smells like something crunchy and delicious is cooking. So yeah, this is a pan tour. Let's move forward. After walking a little, we are now at the Girjagar Chowraha, or we can say Girjagar Square. This square is named after the church we are seeing. Here is a church. So this square is named after the church we are seeing here. It's the century-old Saint Thomas Church. There is no written information about the time it had been built. So yeah, it's kind of a busy square which is full of crowd and rush from morning to late evening. Now it's time to taste a pan. At the corner of this Girja Ka Charha, there is a small shop named Gama Pan Bhandar, which sells the varieties of pan, including the best Banarsi pan of the city. So let's go there and try it out. So before eating it, let me answer the question: what is pan? This green-looking eatable is stuffed with a betel nut mixture and tobacco sometimes, and is served after meals. But in Varanasi, there is no particular time to eat it. Most people eat whatever they want to. Now there is another interesting, or I can say mythical fact related to betel leaves, and that is, it is said that the first plant ever planted on earth was of betel leaf, that is pan, by the hands of goddess Parvati herself, who is wife of the most powerful god according to Hindu mythology, that is god Shiv. So now after learning the fact, as I am not there exactly, but I have ordered that pan right now. As you all can see that there is a particular method of eating a pan. It's become a little messy, so don't worry. First, the pan is come in triangle shaped structure. So first you have to hold it from two corners with your two fingers, mainly from index and thumb, and just like this, and just press a little and put it into your mouth like this. I have a difficulty in speaking, but I will try. Now you just have to chew it until the betel leaf inside your mouth becomes liquid in reaction with your saliva. It somehow tastes a little sugary. So after it's all liquid inside, you just have to spit it now. Wait a minute, I am coming. Hello again everyone. So don't be hurry in eating the pan like me. I have literally spit it out very early. You have to just chew it for a long time. After that you have to spit it out. Don't hurry. So after spitting out, your mouth kind of feel a little refreshed, and the bad breath has completely been vanished from your mouth. So this is all about eating pan. Now we move forward into the tour for more insights and background of the pan. So after eating a pan from Gama Pan Bhandar, now as we are moving forward, I would like to get your attention on your left side. There you can find a unique shop selling something yellowish, which you have never seen before. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Malayu, another treasure of Banaras. This Malayu is made from milk by a special kind of boiling process, which creates a foam-like substance. That foam is known as Malayu. In taste, it's very delicious and sugary. It is served with saffron milk, which tastes even better. Now after moving a bit, the area we are crossing now is known as Nai Sarak, which is famous for its number of clothing shops, as you can see here. Now after moving a bit, we are at Nai Sarak Choraha. This Choraha is more crowded than previous ones, and that is Gudolia and Girjagar. As currently we are in the center of Muslim area of Varanasi. As you can see the burkhas and kurtas, and also the famous mosque of Nai Sarak. This small street we are looking is known as Damandi, which is said to be the cheapest market of Varanasi. You can find every item by going in there, from clothes to hardware, from footwear to makeup, from kitchen utensils to mobile gadgets. I can say this market holds the record of largest market of mobile accessories in Purvanchal region of Uttar Pradesh state. So let's continue with our tour. We have now reached Baniabag Choraha. It is generally famous for its number of footwear shops. Without further ado, let's move. We have now reached another square in this tour route, that is Chetganj Chauraha. It is not that crowded in comparison to others. It includes some vegetable shops, some small restaurants, a small bar and a hotel. Now it seems a little easy for you, but there's also the other side of every story. The process of taking better leaves to the local shops is kind of very long. So to dig deeper, or I can say to know more about the pan, I have invited a local business guy who works in this field, and who will take you directly into the houses, or I can say where this pan purchasing or selling has been worked since a very long time. So over to you, Sunny.
Hello everyone, as Shreyans mentioned, I am Sunny. I have a small business related in this pan industry. So yeah, let's dig deeper into it. As you can see, we are currently standing at Chetganj Chauraha. From here we are gonna take left turn and move forward into a narrow street which is known as Pan Dariba. Pan Dariba, which is literally means battle market. So after moving forward, we can see there are numbers of small shops, or I can say this small street is filled with the wholesalers, whether it is related to daily use cooking items, confectionaries, dry fruits, and all other kinds of items. One can find every kitchen items at the wholesaler rate. And now we are currently at Pan Dariba Chauraha, and you can see here that there are some small sellers of pan leaves, or I can say that pan ka patta, in which pan is packed when somebody buy it on shop and want to take it home or somewhere else. So there are very small sellers that take their particular positions from early morning. So because the space is limited, and the best position to sell their pan patta would be on the main square. So yeah, it's a very hard work to capture a place. Now on taking left turn from the square, or in our language Chauraha, we are moving forward the main building where purchasing and selling is happening. We can find that there is shop on a roadside that generally deals in a wholesaler tobacco products. And many pan spices flavor. As the day passes, the crowd here begin to grow, as not only shop owners from Varanasi but from different neighboring cities visit it. So let's move now. After taking a corner and entering an old building, we are now in the main hub of pan selling and purchasing, where you can find crowd from early morning to afternoon. As I can say that this is a kind of Makkah Medina for pan shop owners, not only from Banaras and also not only from neighboring cities. The buyers come from the far cities too. Talking about pan selling is a kind of not an easy task, and to know that, let me first acknowledge you with the types of pan one can find in India. So there are around 90 types of pan which you can find worldwide, but in India you can find around 49 types of pan. In those, the famous pan types include Maghi, Jagannathi, Jukki, Matiyali, Haldia, Sanchi, Chandrakala, Ganjam, Desi, Katak, Kaker, Kanpuri, Lucknow, Meetha pan and so and so. Many of these names are linked to their cultivating city and also named exactly as that city name. Like you can say Sanchi pan is cultivating in Sanchi city, which is in Madhya Pradesh. Then again there is a Ganjam pan from Ganjam Island in the Bay of Bengal, which is a small island. Kanpuri and Lucknow pan from Kanpur and Lucknow respectively. So in Varanasi perspective, Maghai pan, which is generally cultivating in a old Magad, which is now in a Bihar state, and Desi pan, which is cultivated in a nearby district. These both are the most traded variety of pan in Varanasi and also look very similar to each other. Now after you got a little brief about the pan types, now it's time to learn the most important point that we are waiting for so long. That is the selling and purchasing of pan. As we move forward into the main building of Pan Dariba, you can see the rush and the crowd and the trading and deals, the bundles of green betel leaves. So after watching this, you are now fueled with some questions about what is happening and why is there so much crowd or so much betel leaves present here. And my answer would be in a question 2. That is, have you ever got a chance to visit or see a live auction? That is exactly what is happening here. See, there are 3 different ways of selling of pan. First, through auction, which is only of Maghi and Desi pan. Second, through direct selling in the Dariba, which is for the betel leaves of Bengali and Odisha. Third, selling directly into the local houses who will turn those leaves into the real Banarsi pan. So let me tell you about the second and third way in detail. See, after cultivating pan of farmers' land, mainly from Odisha and Bengal, and after transforming those betel leaves to Varanasi by truck, it divided into 2 color types. One white colored leaves and another one is green colored leaves. So the white color leaves come into the building in the Pan Dariba for direct selling, and the green color leaves is into local traders houses for turning those green leaves into white with some traditional processing methods. We will go into those houses and we'll know the whole processing after looking at this. See, the only classification of world famous Banarsi pan is by their color. Means Banarsi pan is always white in color. So now, how auction is held here? As I have told you, the auction which you are seeing here in only Maghi pan and Desi pan, these auctions are seasonal. That means the auction of these kind starts from November to March. And if I talk about the betel leaves from Bengal and Odisha, it's selling and purchasing happening all around the year. So overall the auction is for Maghi pan and Desi pan. Now, as you can see, the man with a pen and a small notebook is commonly known as Khalifa, who major role is do the auction. Let's assume if I have done the highest bid for a group of pan leaves, which is also known as dholi, and I don't really want to pay the money right now. So that bid I placed on that pan will be paid by the Khalifa. And after some days later I will pay the debt to him. In this, Khalifa kind of gets some commission, maybe around 5% on the total bid. So with the looks, he does not look wealthy, but when you check his background, he has some lands, he have cars and other things. Now after seeing the auction, let's move forward the house and see the processing work that include turning green leaves into white. As you can see, we are into the house, or we can say the room, generally referred as khad in local language, which means a room where the pan processing is in work. See, when the pan comes from Odisha or Bengal by truck in bunches of tokri, by tokri, I mean a bowl-shaped structure made up of wooden box. So after receiving, the tokri is then opened and the betel leaves from the old tokri then get transferred to new tokri. Then it get packed into, as you can see, it got stored in some wooden structure like that. After storing the pan tokri on almirah like wooden structure, some burning wooden coal should be placed in one other corner, that khad or room, and after that the room had been closed so that the khad can become warm and start hitting those leaves and in due time changing the leaf colors. That coal is generally called damkal in local language. Now generally after 5 to 6 hours the tokri has taken out. See, the person who placed the tokri in that khad for heating the leaves, he kinda knows when the tokri should be taken out. If we take it out early, the color's not gonna be changed, or maybe only partial of the leaves would be change their color. If we take it out late, the leaves become too warm and turn their colors into brown, which means it's got rotten. So the person knows what is doing, when it should be taken out and other things. Now after the leaves got some warm, the palm leaves immediately need to be transferred in the other cold tokris. The process is known as paltai in local language. Then after some cooling, the leaves move in some kind of checking process in which the workers check if any of palm leaves has turned its color to white early or not. If any of them got too much warm, that it become rotten. So those leaves which become white earlier get transferred into market for selling. This process of warming, cooling and selling, the earlier white leaves are done for around 50 to 20 days on the intervals of 2-3 days. See, in this process, the pan is divided into 3 types on the basis of their looks and conditions. First one is the pan which is totally got rotten is named as the gain. Second, the pan which is partially rotten, it named as sauda. Third, the pan which is not rotten but got some kind of color, it named as gar. So after all the process got completed and all the pan leaves in the tokri have turned white, the businessman have to choice either he sell all the white pan leaves or should sell only those pan leaves who has more white in comparison with others. It is totally dependent on the businessman or traders. So basically those processed white pans are Banarsi pan. Mean some of you have heard that the pan which is available or selling in Varanasi is Banarsi pan. This is not true. Banarsi pan is the pan which is available on the sold only after the hard processing of turning green betel leaves of Odisha and Bengal into white. So in short, the processed white betel leaves are Banarsi pan. Mainly these businessmen sell this white Banarsi pan into neighboring cities such as Allahabad, which is also known as Prayagraj now, and also which is the most preferable choice by Banarsi pan businessman. Other cities include Lucknow and Delhi. So now you know what is Banarsi pan, its selling and purchasing, its types and classification. So one of you taking right now that how the pan farm looks like, how the pan farming is done. So let me acknowledge you with this information too. Pan farming is totally different from other agriculture farming. In this, farmer first made a hut like structure which is commonly known as Baretha in Bihar and Barej in West Bengal, Odisha. So for farming of pan, a person might require 2-3 things. First is sandy soil, and other is the formation of that hut, that is Baretha. So to farm, see, there is no seed for planting of betel leaves. Have you ever seen a money plant or grapevine? So just like that, it grows in zigzag vine. It needs decent amount of water and sunlight, not too much or not too less, just balance amount of both. Also there should be a hole in that hut structure, Baretha, so that wind can come through. After the leaves get to the normal size, it would be then plucked out and transferred into the tokris and then to different cities. Some of them go to the neighboring cities like Nawada and Gaya for Magai pan, but the farmer's first preference was always been and is always will be in Varanasi, because here they get good rates for their pan. So that's all from my side, and thank you Shans for inviting me, and Thank you all for listening to me.
So we have reached the end of the tour. I hope to see you in Varanasi, taking the juicy pan into your mouth. Thank you so much for joining with this amazing orientation walk around Banaras. I cannot wait to share it with you once we can go back to traveling again. Thank you so much. Namaste.